Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a very exciting video for you all. I'm going to be doing reading and reacting to actually controversial opinions posted on Reddit. I have gathered a few very controversial opinions, and these are not just like, oh, I don't like Marmite. They're actually they're juicy. But I wanted to just say, when I'm reading these out, that's not me saying it, that's someone on Reddit, and I am reading it and I'm going to tell you if I agree, disagree, my thoughts, opinions. I just thought it'd be a bit of fun, and I like going deep into things, so why not? I don't want to offend anyone. All opinions and thoughts I say about these unpopular opinions are my own, please remember. And yeah, I want to know your thoughts, so discuss it in the comments. I want to know what you think about these things. Yeah. Anyway, subscribe if you haven't already, it would mean the whole world to me. And give it a big thumbs up. And yeah, let's just get started. Also, trigger warning, there are some discussions of very heavy topics in here, by the way. First one, I believe that parents should be given a grace period after giving birth in which they have the choice to humanly euthanize the child if it unexpectedly comes out with a disability. This was the first one I read, and I was like, no. No. And the fact this has got oh no, I thought that was likes. Okay, well, it's been boosted a lot. I could not believe this when I read it. No, I do not agree. I completely disagree. I think that is absolutely shocking. How awful. A grace period. Someone's replied, I love this reply, they've put, this is the first post here that is truly controversial. I applaud you for that, even though I absolutely don't agree with your opinion. I agree with that comment. Oh my god, I couldn't believe that when I read it, and I just had to include it because I want to know what you guys think. Next we have, I believe that some people are simply not meant to be great or even successful. Not that those who aren't are wasting their potential, but they simply don't have what it takes. Either the intelligence, the charisma, or the willpower. Some people are simply meant to be working the checkout line, and that's okay. That's pretty controversial in a society that believes everyone can do anything they set their mind to. Oh, okay, this one's really, really hard for me to call, like, I agree with or disagree. I do agree in a way, but I also disagree. I see where they're coming from, because yeah, anyone can put their mind to it, but some people are incapable of, whether that's due to laziness, medical issues, or simply they don't want to and they're just happy with their cashier job. They're just happy with it and they don't mind. So yeah, I agree that not everyone's made for like amazing things, but I don't know. But I also, yeah, you can put your mind to anything, but also some people actually can't and they don't want to. So yeah, I do agree, besides the things I've added on. Next one. If women have the right to choose to be parents, so do men. A guy should be able to waive all parental rights and responsibilities, but it's a one-way street. Once you give them up, you can't get them back without the mother's consent. Okay, I agree. I do agree. If the woman gets pregnant and there's that conversation and the man's like, I do not want to be a dad, like I don't, and the woman's like, oh well, I want to keep it, and the dad, yeah, that's a little bit dickish, but if the dad genuinely doesn't, he should have that choice just like women do. Does that make sense? I never ever think a man should decide like a woman should get an abortion or something. That's out of order, that's not up to them. But then again, in the same sense, if a woman wants to keep that baby, he has a right to not be a part of the kid's life. I mean, that's just a lot about him, but it is his right. Someone's actually replied, I agree. The idea that a woman could lie to me about birth control or even willfully tamper with condoms, etc., impregnate herself and have a child without my knowledge or permission, and then expect me to support it for life, possibly with limited ability to even interact with it, is appalling. If an effective male pill existed or vasectomies were 100% reversible and less invasive, I would completely disagree with you. I really like how the replies worded this. I agree with this reply. I feel like that's not very controversial. I mean, yeah, it's good if a man can step up if he didn't plan that baby, but if he says to the woman, I don't want it, then yeah, that's fair, you know? Okay, this one's quite a long one. So their original thing they put was, Having a mother and a father who are married actually matters and is the best scenario for children. So I disagree. I'm going to read what they added on in a sec, because they did add stuff on. I disagree with their initial thing, because obviously I feel like, yes, in an ideal world, having two parents married is better for a child. That's obvious. It's really not when them parents don't love each other anymore, they are arguing, they just aren't right for each other, therefore they're not happy. How is that better for the children to have unhappy married parents? You know what I mean? I just don't. And we don't live in an ideal world, you know? Not every marriage. I genuinely think I know more divorced parents than I do together ones, genuinely. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think their kids would probably be happier because their parents didn't want to be together. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, this person has added on, they put edit. Wow, never have I seen a post get so many "this isn't even controversial" comments and so many "I completely disagree" comments at the same time. For those who didn't see these clarifications obvious, father equals a man, mother equals a woman, marriage equals actually married, not partners, boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, living together, etc. Also, I'm truly sorry if this comment makes anyone feel bad about the circumstances in which they grew up in or are growing up in. Obviously, I'm not saying that every married couple makes a better set of parents than others, example, single parents. It goes without saying that there are millions of amazing parents raising kids in all sorts of family situations that aren't the nuclear family. And I think the work they do is awesome. Likewise, obviously, a single excellent parent can be better than two bad parents, and sometimes divorce is the right answer for a family. None of that changes my opinion. Though all else being equal, the nuclear family is the best option for kids. I simply don't buy into statements like, quote, "It doesn't matter whether parents get married so long as they are good parents," and "It doesn't matter if kids have a mum or dad so long as they have one loving parent. Those things do matter." I don't know. Because it's like you're saying, okay, for example, a couple where it's two women or two men, they adopt a child or surrogacy or something along them lines, and they're married. And he literally, I don't know if this is a man or a woman, I'm guessing it's a man, not to be stereotypical, but he put father equals a man, mother equals a woman. I can just tell the kind of person this guy is. But like, I think he made his statement worse by editing it. Like, you could have just stuck with that, and now you just sound voluntarily ignorant, to be honest. Yeah, oh God. That's not good. I think Black Americans need to stop complaining about slavery like it was personal. It happened, it sucked, get over it. Every other race has both owned and been slaved at some point in time. In the same time period, Asian and Irish semi-slave toiled in mines and railways, and to this day not a cent in reparations has been made. There are no memorials to those people who helped build an empire. History books barely mention them, because the children of those who suffered didn't try to use the pain. Their parents and grandparents went through it as a bargaining chip. No, I don't agree with this. I think the only reason Black people bring up times of how they went through slavery and their ancestors went through that shit, I think they only bring that up to show you how racism was. They're not acting as if like they have the same life. They're not. They're just showing you how racism was and still is. And also, Irish semi-slaves, the reason you don't hear them talking about it is because societally there's more racist against Black people than there is Irish people. Let's be honest. Like, that's just common sense. It literally is. Right, next one. I know this goes against the tenets of individual liberty and all that, but I really wish we required people to take exams before they're allowed to have children. I've seen too many shitty parents and it breaks my heart. Someone's replied, people should take exams before doing a lot of things. I completely agree. It's the fact you have to take a driving test too, theory and practical, before you can drive. And anyone's allowed to have kids. I actually, it stresses me out 100%, go through it. You need to go through a test. It's like when you're adopting. Obviously I don't think it should be as strict as when you have to be examined when you're going to adopt a child, because obviously that child's been through a lot and it's more of a vetting process. I agree. I do not think you should be allowed to have a child without taking a test in some kind of sense. However, this is never going to happen, because how would they control that? They just couldn't. That would be genuinely impossible. How would they? It's a shame that it can't be a thing, but it never will. Now, this one really interested me. So, I think that people with mental illnesses shouldn't be allowed to procreate. So, give birth. And then that was their original thing, and then I'm gonna read their first edit. So, edit: I think that people with mental illnesses can and do lead amazing lives and can make great parents. I just don't think they should pass on their genes so that their kid has to live through the same horrors they did. Edit 2. I honestly thank everyone who has commented and really opened my view on how I see this issue. Look, what I think boils down to this. People with mental disorders / illnesses aren't necessarily going to have a bad life, and there are many factors that feed into them having the illness in the first place. I think if a parent has a high chance of passing down their illness to their kid, they seriously need to consider the consequences before they do. I'm not advocating for some government mandate or even think people with mental illnesses are wrong in some way. I just think parents need to think through their consequences of their actions before they create life. All of your comments, I understand this is a complicated issue, just like anything else is. It isn't black and white, and I don't think there is a right or wrong answer necessarily. Things like this should be taken case by case and not be taken lightly. Again, thank you all for your help, blah 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 blah. I agree. As someone who is diagnosed with ADHD, someone who has a dad with the same, and I've struggled a lot, as is he. He's changed a lot. He was a very different man to before I was born. Yeah, extremely. And to say that people with mental health shouldn't be allowed to procreate, that's just stupid. Like, my dad passed down his genetics of mental illness to me, okay? And I mean, yeah, it's been hard. It has been hard. But so many people have mental health issues, whether it's genetic, environmental factors, they do now. It's the way the world is. Whether it's anxiety or an actual personality disorder, a lot of people suffer, and we would end up with no kids. Seriously, I have mental health issues and I will go on to have a baby one day. However, saying that, I do agree that people with active mental health problems and they are not capable of looking after another human being should not have one just because they want one. They need to take accountability and they need to know when they're in the right headspace to actually have a baby. So I agree with that in that sense, but your blanket term, I think that people with mental illnesses shouldn't be allowed to procreate. Well, we'd really have a lack of children in the world then, because there's a lot of people with mental illnesses. It's just, Next one. Someone who makes 20k a year shouldn't be allowed to have 5 children. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it's sad that some people only are on 20k a year. And yeah, you can have a kid or you can have kids. I cannot stand when people don't earn enough money to physically look after their children. It is the most stupid thing, and it's selfish. It is so selfish. If you're actively choosing to have, say, 5 kids when you know you cannot afford them, that's unfair. It's so unfair. And when you look back, that is why now a lot of families only have, 2 or 3 kids. Whereas if you look back to your grandparents, a lot of them have families of 6. There's 6 kids, because they did that back then and things were cheaper. But now things are so expensive, people can't afford to have that many kids. Even getting a bigger car, it's all things like that. And if you choose to have that many kids when you know you can't afford it, it's selfish in my opinion. It just is. Next one. As long as you are not morally committing wrongdoings, there's no reason to dehumanise prostitution. It's still work and it's just a service. Not much different than a salon lady giving a pedicure or masseuse, same thing. Doing work in services giving personal pleasure. And then someone's replied saying, I think George Carlin put it well. Why should it be illegal to sell something that's perfectly legal to give away? I mean, I agree and disagree. I agree in the sense it's someone's choice and they want to do it. However, I do disagree as well, because the work of prostitution is very, very exploitative in its nature naturally, to underage people, to people who are forced into it. it is just known to be a bit like that, and it's a really tricky one. I can see yes and no to this. I don't know, because I mean really what is the point of it being illegal, because it really doesn't matter, people do it anyway. It's always happened, it's always gonna happen probably, so I don't really understand why it is illegal. But yeah, that's a really tricky one, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, right, anyway, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I actually had loads more to get through, but this video is quite long, so I thought I'll do a part 2 if you want to see. I really enjoy talking about these, and I'd love to know your opinions down below. And yeah, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all very soon. Remember, I upload every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, and that could be true crime video, commentary like this, anything really, fashion, a vlog. I'm a little bit of everything here. So yes, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, like I said, and yeah, I love you all.